Let's move on to the 9:45 p.m. Eastern night game. That's number 9th ranked BYU Cougars, 7-0 at 21st ranked Boise State Broncos. Boise, Idaho, 44 Fahrenheit, showers in the forecast, 9 miles per hour. We're going to start with John Ryan here. BYU opens up at -2. Now there's -3s across the board, and that doesn't tell the whole tale, right? Didn't Boise State actually open up as a favorite in some books?
It's a crossover, yep.
Yeah, so that some of these it didn't, but there are some books that started with Boise State as 2-point favorites, but Bet365 waits to put out their lines, and they put it out with after that move with BYU as 2-point favorites, now 3-point favorites. We finally get a good gauge to see how good BYU is. Coming off 41-10 win at home over Western Kentucky. Zach Wilson being great all year, 19 touchdowns, 2 picks. Boise State did not look good defensively in their 49-30 win at Air Force. On offense, USC transfer quarterback Jake Sears was in complete control. 17 of 20, 280 yards, 3 TDs. But Air Force put up 484 yards on Boise. Boise State 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 home games. John Ryan, big spot, Friday night football, BYU, Boise State.
Well, in this particular case, you have to wonder whether BYU is starting to get a little inflated. They've covered all but one game this year. And, people like to bet on a winner. It's more likely to bet on a team that's won their last 3 games and covered all 3 by 30 points than it is anything else. But it could be a trap here in my initial thoughts taking BYU, because when something looks too good to be true, it just might be. Supporting BYU, though, there is a pretty good trend here, 25-10-1 against the number in road games after covering as a double-digit favorite, and that goes back to 2005. Boise State here, they're 30-15 as an underdog over the last 10 years. They do well in November, and I do think that the month does have some meaning to these types of team trends. It has no meaning on the day of the week. Whether, like in the MAC, whether he's playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I mean, that's irrelevant. But I think November is the time where the cream comes to the top, and we've seen Boise State do this. They're 27-9-2 pushes following a game where they forced an opponent with at least 1 turnover in 2 consecutive games. So later in the week, I think I'll put out on Twitter an actual play on this, but my play is probably going to be Boise State, and I'll leave it with that.
Interesting. Let's move over to CMAC. Cougars, Broncos.
Yeah, John nailed it. I'm going to wait on this game too. I mean, if you like BYU, it's 2.5 right now, and I would take it. I wouldn't, but I don't know. I had BYU last week. I laid the 30. They won by 31. They took off that was one of the only big numbers I laid. But this is a totally different thing on the Smurf turf. Boise looks good, and I want them here as a dog. I'm going to wait to play it, but they're my lean. I think their team finally, BYU gets maybe hit in the mouth a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what BYU, if they're really top tier, if they go in there and hand it to them. But I think this game could be tight, could be maybe low scoring, especially if Boise's defense plays well, because everyone's talking how great BYU's offense has been. They can light it up. Can they light it up here? We'll see. So.
All righty. Let's move over to Noli Knows. Noli, this total sitting at 59.5. DJ Big Boss says BYU by 7. Ben Sports 24/7 says BYU by 5. Let's hear what you have to say about this spot, Noli.
I mean, yeah, this is a big matchup here. 2 of the top teams here in the conference. But one thing that I recognize is that BYU's defense is extremely solid. Only giving up 97 yards per game. And one big cause for concern is the fact that Boise State gave up 415 yards rushing to Air Force. I mean, that's just simply not going to get it done against a big physical line in BYU. I think BYU, the big difference here is the fact that they have a better defense. They're solid, only giving up 13.4 points per game. They're 6-1 against the spread, like John Ryan mentioned. And I just think they have the better defense. and the better quarterback. I think Zach Wilson has been phenomenal this year, and I think he continues here. I mean, this is a tough test, especially on the road, but I think BYU is just the better team. I like the better defense, so give me BYU.
BYU, Fernoli knows this might be a spot that I stay off